morning, Gambia, and then welcome to Fine TV Gambia, your only viewpoint. It is, of course, the return of your current affairs show here on Fine TV Gambia that comes your way every Sunday from the hour of 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. And then it is a pleasure, and of course, thanks for joining us today. Today we will be discussing on a theme quite interesting and, of course, important. And then as per, the life, of the Gambians that is concerned. So our theme today would be centered on the causes of drug abuse, addiction, and of course the negative impacts it has on youth, and possible ways to stop the use of illicit drugs in the Gambia. And then with me here today is Mr. Mohamed Mbenga, alias journalist Kifa. Kifa is a trained journalist who worked with the Foria newspaper and Star FM Radio, iAfrica TV, and then the Poet newspaper. Importantly, Kifa owns his own, online media that is called Africa Citizens Radio, and then of course he's the founder of Africa Drug Free Agency, the Gambia. So, and then the most interesting part, and then the most important part is Kifa is a official brand ambassador of a drug law enforcement agency. In the Gambia. So, Mr. Mbenga, it's a pleasure to have you on Fine TV Gambia.
Thank you so much for inviting me to this important program, Current Affairs. It's a pleasure to be here with Fine TV and especially yourself, Ibrahim. I will say good morning to all the listeners.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mbenga, and then it's a pleasure to receive you on our platform. So, Mr. Mbenga, to proceed, or let me say to start the discussion proper, we want you to tell us who is Mr. Mbenga.
Yeah, basically on a short profile, I'm a young Gambian. I was born in Banjul. I'm a Banjulian, but I was grown up in Serekunda to my aunt. I would say basically as a young boy, just not to go too far, that I came from a middle class family, and then also I would say a ghetto boy as well by then during my childhood days, and now I'm a journalist, also a drug activist as well, and also as the official brand ambassador of the Drug Law Enforcement Agency, and I'm also into social activists like philanthropist job. So basically this is who I am, and also as a community youth leader. Another side of me, when it comes to being a skillful person, I am a sailor. I'm an able-bodied sailor. I have been sailing, and also through different sailing routes from the Atlantic Ocean to the Mediterranean Sea, to the Red Sea, to the Indian Oceans, which I inherited from my father, who was a chief officer, like a captain, a ship captain. So all these are part of me, and also as a sport administrative, as a sports manager as well, because I'm also specialized in sports. Basically, these are a few things that I can say.
Interesting, Mr. Mbenga in different areas, in sports, in youth leadership, you understand, in drug activism and many other areas. So, Mr. Mbenga, you've mentioned that you are, a trained journalist. Take us through your journalistic, career or journalism career.
Yes, I started in 2011 by reaching out to Foria newspaper. Directly, especially to Halifa, because he was the one I know as an image of Foria. I went there as a boy from the ghetto, because I have a lot of things that I said I want to say, but the education was not there by then. Even my English, my writings were so horrible. So I have to say, I have to visit Halifa, because I have met him several times. He looks very calm and humble, and he accepts people who they are. So I said, there are a lot of things that I need to bring in from. There are a lot of things, because I'm a fighter since when I was young. Sometimes most of the fights I do, it all comes from my friends' issues. I said, I need to defend, because I know I'm a defender. It's either I be a lawyer or I become a journalist.
Okay.
Then I approach Foria newspaper. I even visit the office with the dreadlocks. I was having dreadlocks, with turbans, with my Jamaican shirts, and then. So when I went there, I approached them. I met a few journalists there. I discussed with them, I want to become a journalist. Some of them, it was something funny, because maybe they have never seen someone with such an image who says that they want to become a journalist. So I told her, I want to be part of the system. So I was given the opportunity. I started as a columnist. So although the experience was not there, but I received in-house training. So they give me the entertainment column, arts and entertainment. So it comes on every Friday. So I will interview artists and other artistic personnel. Then we publish them. So they where I started developing myself. Sometimes if there is any training available at the GPU, then Samsung will send me to the GPU for me to develop myself. From there I started to build the interest of trying to shape the future, because I know it needs an education. So I started to go on the ground, developing myself, doing private studies, developing my English, and also trying to get back to school, you know, because I was a dropout, so I need to get back and do my private exams. So all these are engagements that I did to be able to develop from one stage to other. Because I was already tired, I said, now, let me start from somewhere else. It was not easy, because sometimes, you know, when you are starting somewhere else, people might look at you, kid of a late, kid of a tape. But I still say that let me focus and get what I want to get. From there, I said it's not enough. From 4 years, I need to develop my speaking skills, my talking skills. I engaged Star FM with Sarah Kamara, who was very helpful. And I also was given the opportunity to be using the mixer. I was being trained inside, you know, being part of a news panel. So all these things developed me. I learned from other people, from experienced people. So from there, I said it's not enough. I also like to visualize my potential. So I have to engage iAfrica TV. And also Lamin even was also having interest of, because he already seen the talent in me. So the opportunity was given to me. I went to iAfrica TV to also portray what I have. And it gradually started growing bit by bit, and that's where I see myself that definitely the wind of change has started blowing. Yeah.
Interesting moment now, from one media house to the other. I mean, interesting from you that when you visited, I mean, Florida, you have your TED vlogs, and then your Jamaican stars. So the interpretation at the first stage was radical way. So as a trained journalist, I mean, why do you have interest, or what really inspired you to, be, an activist on who is fighting against, drug abuse in the Gambia?
Yes, because I feel using the media as a platform, it will easily transmit my message to the people that I want them to benefit from it. And without the media, I feel it will be very difficult for me to do it. And also, not only using my journalism career for giving out news, publishing or broadcasting news, I said I will use this in a means that I will use it as I will use it as an inspirational tool. Because if you have to see me, okay, he was a ghetto boy, he was this, he was that, and now he turns to become a journalist. It's a noble profession, it's a noble job. So it tells people, this boy, where he started and where he ended up. So, and the other side of it is, I also use it to make sure I communicate with people effectively when it comes to information sharing. Because not everybody shares information the way it's supposed to be. And personally for me, everybody knows that he needs to do it. I am, when it comes to talking about the truth, filtering the truth, I have no friend about that. So, so they can you bank your folk na neka ut plus bahana linga ban fofu ko muna hehe. So, and personally for me, I feel that it has been very effective since I become a journalist. It has bring changes to people's life, and I've been doing it. And people knows that it is very ethical the way I was been doing my work, because everybody knows that ki really gave this something. So it helps a lot. It helps me personally to mold me to it also developed my capacity of understanding when it comes to people's life and behavior, and also when it comes to even effective communication, because my communication during my ghetto days was very rude. I was even very, very, very rude. The way I talk, the way my behavioral attitude, like my suicidal behaviors was not good. Yes, I came from a very trained family, a very civilized and organized family, but sometimes peer influence and public activities sometimes change who you are. More than I mean, kid, the family do don't meet you. Kid, the family bokos in you. Kid, young judo, she get it, bay, she get it knack. So, and it all happens outside, it was not inside. But I came from a very good family, well trained, well disciplined, but outside in the street, it turns to another story. So, and all these things saved me with the journalism. The only journalism teaches you discipline. So it means I do not lose, because not every job that you look for money. Yes, you might look for a food on the table, but there are certain jobs. It's not like job that you are looking for wealth, but you are changing the narrative and the lives of other people. And I think that's the most important part of it. That's the mission why all of us we are here. Yes.
Interesting moment. And of course, now moving on. Mr. Menga, when did you start, to advocate or to, be a person who is against, drug abuse in the Gambia?
After the wind of change arrived, and that's the time I said I need to start fighting, because I involve so many people. I need to be in the forefront to also to change many people. I am not only doing it for Gambia, I am also doing it to clear my sins of involving other people in drug abuse. Because anything that you involve people in doing that have a negative impact in their life is a sin. Whether, I don't know what type of sin, the degree of the sin, but it's a sin. Any mislead that you did for other people, you involve them based on your influence or your powers, it means you are causing a sin. And if you want that sin to be erased from your files, for me, I believe you have to replace them with good sins. You have to replace them by doing good, and I think for me, that's how Allah makes it very easy to forgive you. And the other side also, I feel I have a lot to do by contributing to change, because I'm a person who has the powers of talking to people and I change them, and I see it's even very effective. Some people, like I would say, a lot of young people, their parents might be talking to them. Some of them, they will even take them to the marabouts for duas. So, but they will tell you that I took him to Casamas, I did this. We even recite the whole Holy Quran from Baqarah to Nas for this boy, but he will not change. But for me, when I was starting, the first thing that I did, I first talked to myself. And I was being very loyal to myself and honest to myself. And then I said, before communicating with people, I have to communicate with Allah. To tell Allah that I am coming to do this, and this is the intention. I want you to give me the strength and power. I'm not looking for anything out of it. I'm not looking for positions. I'm not looking for money. I'm not looking for fame. But I want you to help me, to give me the strength that to talk to these people and to change them, for them to hear me. And that's what Allah have given me from the beginning of my journey. And it makes it very effective. So they can take you anywhere for you to change, and it's very difficult. You come to me, I will say out of 10, the entire 9 will change. Is the accept So, and this is why I am doing it, and I am scared of the scale, the amount of drug addicts that I am seeing. You know, the risks involved, the factors involved in this is getting high. I feel I have a national duty. I have a role to play. I need to contribute my quota when it comes to the development of the young people, especially when it comes to at community level. Because developing a country doesn't mean you have to be a minister. You have to be an ambassador or a president. What is important is where you live, that's where you start your development. And before you contribute your development to the community, you need to start to make change. Everybody wants to see change, but who wants to change? So what I did is I first make the decisions to change, and then to look for other people to help them to change.
Interesting. Yes. So, Mr. Beng, I've also learned that, you are a drug addict, and of course, a ghetto youth. Is that true?
Yes, a reformed drug addict. Yes, that's right. This is not something that is hidden, because I started at a very young, early age. And for me personally, I would say what causes mostly of my side is advanced childhood experience. That is ACEs, advanced childhood experience. Because there are certain things that life you experience during your childhood might cause you to the factors of involving in certain things. And also, when it comes to peer influence is part of it. But I know ACEs is the causing factor of my issues of becoming a drug addict. And also as a fatherless child, and also as somebody sent away from home, all this can be a causing factor. And to me, it's part of it, because if you are at the age of a teenage age, and they ask you to leave the house due to your behaviors, your suicidal behaviors or your attitudinal, I don't know how to call it, and you were asked to leave the house at that amateur age, it might lead you to frustration, and it might lead you to certain things that you might involve yourself. It's right, I was there since the age of 14. I started smoking cigarette. Then from there, the stages start to trigger, and from there I start to use marijuana and other alcohol, and all these things, the pills that these boys are using nowadays, and Tutupak, what they call Tutupak, it was in a small plastic, just like you just buy it $3 by them, and number one. So we start because we have the access, and young stress, young have this family disorder. You are out from home, your dad is dead, they ask you to leave the house. It's not because of they don't like you, but the behavior that I was into, is that what the family don't like. So it's hard, and they could not stay with me anymore. They might leave the decision, but not intentionally. But at the end, this is what it costs, and I have to leave. And I am someone that the money getter. If I said I will drink this, I will drink it. If I say I will not do this, even if you beat me, I will not do it. Since I was a child, if I said I will do this, they will keep beating me, I will do it. So the money get broken. That is naturally. Yes.
So what were the challenges that you've encountered during your time as a drug addict? And then have you faced any challenges of being imprisoned?
Yes. From police stations to police stations, it's the most, because that's the result. If you don't expect of using it, because you use it, most of the time you will engage in the crimes. And you expect yourself also to be in prisons. Because for me, I was using it for pleasure, that's one, and also to cease my stress, especially the family disorder that I was having. And another thing is, I would say most of my crime was stab case. Because
really?
Yes, most of my crimes were stab cases. And I would say within a week I can have 2 or 3 stab cases. And the contributing factors, drug was part of it. Being very aggressive also was part of it. And most of the cases, if you check out of 100%, 99% of the cases does not belong to my own problem. It belongs to the problem of my gang or the problem of my friend. Because I don't like people touching my friends.
Why have you any gang?
Yes, we have groups. We have groups that we move together. The goat move with the goat. Remember, the cow move with the cow. So we do things together. We abuse things together. Then it means we believe that we are friends together because we share the same similarities and the same feelings. So, and I would say within them, I was always the top captain.
Ringleader.
Yes, I was always the ringleader. Because and when I was most of it, I would say I'm even the smallest. Yeah, because of my aggressiveness, I'm static. So obviously nobody will manage it. So they always say understand. So it's a sad story. When if I go for that, it makes me very, very bad, very emotional. But it's not also bad to share some of their experience because it helps others to also to know that to transform and to know that leader you can live it and be in another life. Yeah.
Wow, quite interesting. From the ghetto youth, being a former addict, to drug, to now somebody who is the official brand ambassador, of the drug law enforcement agency, the Gambia. I think it's quite interesting, and this means that being an addict as of now, you could change, and then for a better person life, more than Mohammed is right now. So, like, for your own understanding, Mr. Megan, what do you think are the main causes of drug abuse in the Gambia and in Africa? But now let's make it specific in the Gambia in particular.
Yes, one I know. Family disorder is part of it, because we know a lot of people are facing family stress and situations. I would say. I will not say that's the contributing top factor, but it's part of it. Because not everybody can cope stress. Not everybody they are good at stress management, anger management. So, and also peer influence is another huge contributing factor. We all know it in Gambia. Some of us, we use it through our school environment, through the friends that we visit, the activity program that we engage ourselves. Also, I would say entertainment centers. There are certain people they started using it at clubs. Some of them are at the bars. Some of them by even their own girlfriends. Let's say they are loved ones, because the people that you move with, I would say they define the results of your future. So, and then if you decide to move with, like if you are a footballer, you are moving with smokers, automatically it tells that you can be a smoker at any time.
Of course.
If you what they call in the ghetto language, Galis Pro, like somebody who loves gas. If you are a Galis, somebody who loves gas, and you are humanizer, let's say you are humanizer, and then you want to you are moving with a humanizer, automatically you become a humanizer. So,
like the Englishman will say, so you're a friend, then I will
tell you who you are. So these are just the basics then to let's say the majority in the Gambia here, not outside. This is what causes.
Yeah, but some would argue that, I mean, at times, it's like family pressure does not work for a person to be engaged in drug addiction or other things. Some will tell you, like, I mean, employment is also a factor. So,
and also before even coming to that, let's say genetics, when it comes to genetic studies, it says 40% or 60% of people who experience drug addictions or drug-related things from their family members, like from their generations. We don't say you inherit it, but from genetic studies it says 40 or 60% of people who came from a family background of drug abuse normally becomes a substance use disorder. So I'm coming to the genetic sides.
Okay. So if you say, I mean, substance uses, I don't know.
If your father has been using cocaine, your mother comes and use cocaine, you are a pregnant child, you come and use cocaine, it comes from there. Sometimes, I'm telling you, through the genetics. That they may need to do the side of Kodona, Mamma, they gonna Mamma, Satakat Law. They gonna Mamma Serin Law. So it applies to drug. So the contributing factor also, economic crisis, economic tsunami is one of it. Because as a nation, if young people do not have the privileges or the opportunities to engage themselves or to portray their potential, it's also one of the contributing factors. But for me, such things, I don't take it as an excuse. We all face the economic situations. But today, you become the journalist. Did you involve yourself in drugs? No. Absolutely. So I know it's part of it. Because it causes due to, because not everybody can manage the situations and the system of the country. We know that, but it's not an excuse. But let's say the contributing factor, the major contributing factor, we know that peer influence is the key. To tell you the reality, is the key. Because if I don't want to smoke, I will not smoke. You make the decisions. Even if we are going to eat groundnut pap every day, it doesn't make me to use drug. So the decisions lies on you. There are a lot of young people, they are going serious trauma and stress, but still they are managing their life. And they are not messing up. So if you want to speak, you also have to bring the positive side and you balance it with the negative side. So if you want, this is the cause of it, but it's not the contributing major factor. You must look at other areas as well. I said some of us from, let's say, advanced childhood experience, that is ACEs. Some started using it because of ACEs. Like myself. Let's say a parentless child, an orphanage. They can all involve in this. Somebody that was raped can even becomes a drug addict, and you become stressed from that, and then you started vandalizing your feelings. Taking alcohol, using that because you might experience a trauma since you were a child, and you are going through that, and you feel even shy. We all know the stigma in our society. And people started stigmatizing you. So you don't have somebody to discuss your problems or your mental conditions, your mental health to you. And let's say they said mental conditions is very related to substance use disorder. And many people in this country, we are suffering from mental disorder. Whether you dress like a staff or you dress like an imam, this conditions is going seriously in this country. Stress, because when we talk about mental health, it doesn't mean kusali tankambi, kusali dalambi, ko xamne mu ngi lekk ci mbalit bi, mu ngi sol yére yi bon. No, that one is
some are sitting down.
Yes,
they are automatically.
But they are suffering from mental health, and this is what we have to understand. This is a serious matter. It's a serious case, and it's affecting many people, not only young people, but even adults.
Okay, critics also say that, I mean, at times, the access of this drug, or I mean, accessing drug in this country, because it is believed that generally that most of the drugs, I mean, that are taken in the Gambia, or these are serious drugs, I mean, are not obtained in the Gambia. They are shipped from other places to the Gambia. So at times they will say that is a contributing factor, because when these drugs when these drugs are seen and not and stopped not to be coming into the Gambia, the boys will not have access to it. So, as an ambassador of the Drug Law Enforcement Agency of the Gambia, what do you have to say about it?
Yes, access to substance is one of them. Access to substance, I totally agree. And also prescribed medication that can be misused, such as opioids and stimulants. That is very right. Prescribed medications that can be misused can also cause people using it. Because if a medication is being prescribed for you to use it as prescribed by your medical provider, and then you overuse it, it means you are overdosing yourself. And we know we have to, this is not only a matter of illicit drugs, but the prescribed ones can also cause addiction. So this is what I want people to understand, because we are talking about addiction. And now access to substance is another root factor, is another contributing factor. One thing, I will not take it as an excuse, but in the entire world, there is no country that can tell you that we can stop the access, the availability of drugs in our country. We can stop it totally. You can minimize it, but you want to say you stop it. That is even America, even UK, so, even Swiss.
What is the stage of this country?
The stage of this country, I feel, as the official brand ambassador of the agencies, I have my limits, but also I feel for them they also have, they also need help, because if they are doing the job with, you know, when it comes to drugs, it's very risky. For them, even doing the job is even risky for them. Are you seeing any protective measures that they have been given to the Drug Law Enforcement Agency for them to be able to execute their job? It's not there. Even patrol vehicle is a problem for them to reach certain locations or certain places. And knows that not every drug law enforcement agency in any country also, they have the entire mandate to control. There are law enforcements, remember that. But there are other areas also that you know, they also have a contributing factor to make sure that these drugs are coming into the country. They are not the one telling the citizens to bring these drugs in the country. They don't know that these drugs are destructive. They are very harmful. They know it. How many people import drugs in this country? It's not the fault of the Drug Law Enforcement Agency. Yes, it's their mandate for them to enforce those laws, but do they have all these required equipment to make sure that these are stopped? You can even transport drug through the by air. You can even transport drug by sea. Do the Drug Law Enforcement Agency have patrol boats to make sure that they are partnering with the Gambian Navy to make sure that I'm telling you, constant patrol at sea to make sure that these things are stopped? You can even use the sea and you enter in the Gambia and you bring anything that you want. These people, they are not having the equipment. If your patrol vehicles are not enough, do you think that you'll be having the patrol sea boats to go on board to say that you are going for security measures or security checkups? Yes.
Question again.
So all these things are important things that the central government and the Minister of Interior, they have to look at and make sure that these people are helped based on this. And also, technology now is growing, is advancing. You can also use technology to trace all these trafficking. So do the Drug Law Enforcement Agency have all these measures? They don't have all this technology to do it. They are just using their experience and also using informations to trace this drug trafficking. And that's not enough. And it's even risky for them, because you can be killed.
Okay, to some extent that, I mean, there's some critics who tell you that at times, I mean, some officials of the Drug Law Enforcement Agency, the individuals who are involved in, I mean, the dealing of, I mean, these drugs, such as, I mean, marijuana and other things. So being an ambassador, how do you see that particular, I mean...
for me, I don't like to talk about allegations. I always like to talk about proofs. We have been hearing all these things from everywhere. Every day, I think on TV, you are hearing people saying Adam Barrow is corrupt, even whether they have evidence or not. So it's nature to say that a police officer is corrupt. It's nature to the eyes of the people. And even, let me tell you, this is all over the world. Not all journalists are good journalists. Not all good cops are good cops. That is important. Even in your own house, everybody is not okay. So it's nature. I'm not saying it's an excuse, but I'm telling you the fact. If they say the Drug Law Enforcement Agency, they are one of the people importing drugs in this country, I would be surprised. I would be really, really surprised. definitely.
But in a case that if majority of the citizens or like that say that, so don't you think like there's something fishy somewhere else? Or like
Yes, something might be fishy. It's not I am being very defensive to the drug law enforcement agency, no. But sometimes it's good to look at where the problem is, and then we find the solutions for that. Not those that are trying to solve the problem. They are not the problems. We are the problems as Gambians, because we are the one causing this problem. So those that are there to make sure that they will protect, or they will make sure that the law is being enforced, they will turn to become the victim. So where is the central government? For me, to myself, where is the central government to make sure that there is a lot of engagements being done? We have the Gambia Port Authority, we have the sea. All these are exit route, free exit route that you can bring inside. You can import drugs in, or it can be an exit for drugs to enter in the country. You go to Tangi, go to other places. For me, I've been doing my site visits. You will know that there is no security when it comes to stop drugs in this country, because the equipments are not there. Technology is not there, and government need to work on technology and equipments.
So you are saying those are key.
Those are keys that we have to do.
Yes. Talking about to mitigate.
Yes, to mitigate. Yes. Before you, it's just like you building a hospital and you don't have medicines, or you make sure that doctors are there. You staff doctors, you staff nurses, and there are no medical equipments. Well, I got you know the pharmacy. So kind of patients you do it. And not only that, we should also remember there are certain young people, they sell drugs in their house, and their parents are even encouraging that.
So parental influence is
parental influence is also part of it. Then you have to endorse. This is the fact. Not only peer influence, but then you have to endorse. Your son uncle so they get 13 years, they through the family relatives. That's where they started smoking. You same papa in the urine to go and buy cigarette. Not even peer influence. I'm telling you, all these issues, these are contributing factor to this. You are inside your house, your mom knows you are selling, your father knows you are selling. Because that's where you buy the bag of rice. And you are also giving them.
Still now bouncing back to the unemployment.
Yes,
so why do you think, as a brand ambassador, why do you think the parents or other relevant authorities are not complaining? Like, for example, you're selling, in your compound, and you know your parent is there, and then they know what you are selling, but they're not complaining because that's where they get their source of living from. So at times they'll tell you there's no employment, so this is what they have to venture.
It's not an excuse. There is no employment. For me, I was taking that excuse, but it's the wrong excuse. What is there is no employment? Are we better than other people that are learning skills in this country? We are not better than them. I think we have to walk away from our egos and from our pride. We have to engage in skills. This is the fact that this is the truth. Boy, we might have a sona. Can we go buy the and we might change. Look at my exhibit. The man get on the digger board. Man get a study. Man get a digger board. Man get a soil. They don't know another police. I think some of them are watching. No another police. Seriously, sir. Seriously, look at my man father. So it's not an excuse. Change has to start from you. Let me tell you the fact. Even if the government, let me take an example. Yes, even if they have to contribute to all these developmental factors. But you, if you don't want to change, brother, even if you Imam Cherno, we football every day, Ustaz Ramedira was a no big blue. Lan mo da sa ya dila advice deglu loko do mum no dom so deglu sa ya sa toka example nga nek ci période bo xamné is responsible mu la wax suba ngon gi dé becc té ni la bugé ken bugé wula su la wax so démé ci juma bi koku di ko bëgg drop sa do deglu. Bro, change, it has to start from you. You make the decisions of change. Nobody. It's not about dañ ko ñaanal dañ ko wajel kabi dañ ko yobu ci marabu diw. No, it has to start from you. You make the change. You are on your own. You are on your own. You are the I would say you are the control command center of your life. If you don't want to do this, you will not do it. I want to change. Because man still more face more than I'm not so the member son. The challenge, now I'm let me do young. And young man can not ever wait you. People like us, we might be very lucky that you may tell a wait you, but might be I am a godsend to people. Yalla prepare ma pour ma make a sample of change.
Absolutely.
But it's not the excuse. Okay, Tifa has reached this level, he has stopped this, but Mayo didn't go by, Mayo didn't go stop. Logic Sinda, jam.
Absolutely.
So the contributing factors to this issue of drug is a nationwide problem. Let me tell you this. It's just like how everybody is facing the expensive of a bag of rice. You know, everybody experience the expensive of a bag of rice because we all eat rice. That's how we should also have the problem solving of drug in this country. As far as we are talking about you never have a problem with drug because one person in a house that is sick by this problem is in corona. If I involve everybody, so we have problem out of 10 households in the Gambia. Let's say out of 10, if you enter the 6 compounds, out of the 10 knows that they must have a drug abuse somebody in the house. So and the number is growing very seriously. We have seen it age of 13, 14, grade 7 students. I have even witnessed a grade 5 student. I don't want to mention the name. The grade 6 student, and the boy is telling me that he was smoking Oris. He started smoking Oris 2 years ago. I met the boy at the metro station.
Grade 4.
Yes, since grade 4. Ma ko fekk si essence suma xarit bi mu ne ma boy yow da kii Oris la mo bëgg jënd ma ne ko Oris ma oo ko ma ñëw ma tiital ko ma ne ko police la dama laa yóbbu soo waxee naa la baala ma ne ko foo jógee mu ne ma suma yaay gunjur xaw ma tànjee dama ne ma ko liggéey ma ne ko an sa papa mu ne ma dafa liggéey moom déggu ta papaam oncle am la dëkk kuloolu fii kër sëriñ I have to protect the image of the child and then I have to dama am pressure ko xale bi mu jox ma nomba papaam ma call papa mu ñëw papa dafa doon jooy papa mu ne koo doon ba mu ko def papa school bu seet la ko seet feer ba pare papa mu ne every day daf ko dee jox lunch $150 dafa koo jox kon donc kooku am na ne kooku already am na accès pour gën a si gën
Yeah, you have the money.
so ma laajte ko yow kañ nga doon mu ne depuis bu ñu defee bundum si la doon di tuur ma ne ko boobu kañ na mu ne ma fekk maa ngi grade 4 so mu ne grade 4 to grade 6 xale bi mu ngi tu Oris
So balaa ma grade 9 moom na pare.
yes kooku dina dugal si leneen ak leneen and dama am pour bàyyi ma doon def yi ma taxaw di def loolu bi booy si dañ waaru si essence bi dama booy yu am nga jot de ma ne ko this is my work if I don't stop this today it's going to grow ñoom faale wuñ sax because nga déedéet ma xamuñ jaaruñ ci dugguñ ci so waaye man li ma doon gis si xale bi it was so sad ba pare very intelligent young boy so it means that we are sitting on a timing bomb su dee youth si nii la ñoo continuer the country has no future I will tell you this and that's the image that I am currently seeing that if there is no change and also a contributing effort Gambia is a sinking boat.
Gambia is a sinking boat if there is no change, that is put in place. Esteemed viewers, if you are just joining us, we're telling you it's Fine TV Gambia, your only viewpoint. And of course, it is your current affairs. So here on Fine TV, and on today, our discussion today, we are discussing on, drug abuse, negative impacts, addiction, and of course, abuse. So, Mr. Mega, continuing. Now, how do you think people are addicted? Because you passed through the stage, and now how are people addicted to drugs?
Yes, cause of addictions, I would say, is a very complex condition. Like one of the significant parts, it develops normally. It's a stage. It develops through the brain chemistry, and people have to know that these are changes. And when it comes to illicit substance and then certain activities that affects the brain, we all know that things that you involve, like a process, things that you involve, like me personally, if I want to say, okay, I want to do this. If I don't do this, I will not do this because the central nervous system is the command center of the brain. And then, once then you started controlling your thoughts and your feelings to certain directions, that's where you start to develop an addictions. Right to me, even let's say, if you started taking ebe, let's take it from there. I will take it from there, not even from illicits. Or let's say an attire.
Yeah.
You believe that you have already tuned the thoughts.
The concept.
Yes, the concept and the CNS, the central nervous system, the feelings. Then when the time for you to consume that attire is not, the availability is not there, and then that's where the brain starts to tells you, to remind the body. Because the brain will start to alert you, the signal will start to come. To alert the body that time is now, and then the brain starts to misbehave. When the brain starts to misbehave, and then the body starts to misbehave. And these are things that I think most of the time causes addictions. And then, let's say, if you say that man su ma amee stress su ma jëlut lii du ma cool da nga koo jël gis nañ fi Lucky Dube don't even smoke cigarette and he's a musician. We have seen musicians that says if I don't smoke I will not be able to face the fans. I will not be able to radically perform. We have seen Akon. He was born in the middle of the ghetto in New Jersey, in the US. But Akon never smoked cigarette, even alcohol. He's totally drug free. Likewise, Lucky Dube. So these are, when it comes to controlling your thoughts and your feelings, this is what I want to do, and this is how I want to do it. Even at medical level, there are certain doctors, they have to say, okay, I have to smoke 6 cigarettes before I start my job. And it becomes an addiction for you. Because the level of how you control your thoughts, the CNS, the central nervous system, but how you control the feelings of the body.
So when you not say,
and then over time, the substance activities changes your, as I said, your brain chemistry. Because it's a process. And then it is growing, which is very, very important. So, and if you don't stop, it keeps triggering. Dafa mel ni ndox mbuus boo amee nii rek nga bu na ko soo fatut baax bi affaire dafa continuer di tuuru le. And that's how addiction grows. And another thing is also, it continues to grow when you continue to have access to it. And also when you also continue to be in the environment when the substance is surrounding you. So buye baye ne dama buga baye li. So don't dem si ghetto bi si baye bi. Stop going there. For me, when I stopped, that's where I started losing a lot of friends that use the drugs. As I ball head laugh. So you got them do. So and when you stop, even you will not even see them visiting you anymore. Because when you're too. So and that's where you even stay away from it. But the more you get to those that use it, that's the more you, because if you don't have it, one thing about the ghetto is, if you don't have money to smoke, somebody will have money to invite you to smoke.
That's right.
Or to use it. So it means that the availability is always there, whether you have or not, because they know it's vice versa. So much of time so that's the concept everybody have. So it means if you don't have money, you still have access to it. But stop going to the place. Change your directions. Your move of approach is very important. Bro, you are on your own. You decide.
Okay, so now, moving on to your agency that you've established in Africa, not only the Gambia, which is named African Drug Free Agency.
African Drug Free Foundation.
Well, yeah, take us through, this formation.
Yes, it's the newly established foundations, because before even the idea of the foundation become in place, before I started establishing the foundation, I started this 12 years ago. By then it was in 2011 with the current director of prosecutor, Mr. Abdullah Sisi is currently director of prosecutor at the Drug Law Enforcement Agency. So I started with him, and the current PRO, Seidiba. We are visiting radio stations, TV stations. Yes, I was being also used as a case source, like as a victim,
yeah.
as a reform addict, as a change person. So, and in that it also helped them to make sure that they reach out to the audience and to the people that they want to talk to, that change is possible. So I started from there. I was doing it voluntarily. It was not being, I have never received any payment for this. And people also have to understand, there is nobody that is paying me to do this. I'm not receiving any salary from the agency.
Very important.
I'm not receiving any money from President Barrow, from the Minister of Interior. I've never received any money, even a butut. I am doing this voluntarily. Even I'm doing this, let people understand that. It's not only I'm representing the agency, I'm representing the Gambia, and people have to understand. And I'm not only fighting this to stop here, or to be minimized here, but also in Africa, because I visited different places in Africa and I raised the same issue. So it means that I have a work to do. Whether the agency is there or it's not there, whether the government is there to support me or not, my work continues. And this is why I said I'm doing it for the past 11 to 12 good years. Then in 2023, the Drug Law Enforcement, 2022 if I am right, the Drug Law Enforcement Agency decided to accolade me as the official brand ambassador of the agency, because they have seen my effort, my contributing development partners that I've been doing with them voluntarily without even asking money. So sometimes you do things at your will, but also when it comes to other stakeholders, it's not a form of a compensation, but also to complement your effort. So they complement my effort and to encourage me and say that then it means you have been representing us willingly, voluntarily, so that it means you are fit to be our brand ambassador. And that's where where I continue to serve humanity, because I'm serving humanity. I'm not a staff of the agency. I'm not receiving any money, any compensation, any allowances. But it's the encouragement that is coming from them, and also it will also help me more to make sure that I have the umbrella body that is also giving me space to go. And definitely for now, I'm seeing them that the encouragement is there, because it also helps their work. Because for them, their work is not only to arrest, but they need people like us to make sure that we involve when it comes to counseling system, when it comes to public sensitizations, when it comes to bringing change. Because I know they're doing the arrest because they are security officers, but they also have a unit that is also working on drug demand reductions. And I'm also partnering with the drug demand reduction department. And these are people who always reach out to schools, reach out to communities, reach out to village developments and other areas like chiefs and stakeholders, to make sure that to talk to them even at family level, to make sure these people are involved in the fight in abating drugs. Because it's not only about to take them to criminalize them or to prison them. No, it's not the case. But it's about bringing change to the society. Because for me, I always say it's a sickness. Substance use disorder, drug abuse is a sickness. And there are other ways that we can use to make sure that we bring them back to the society and we bring them to change. And using it doesn't make you to be a bad person. Using it doesn't make you to be a criminal. And all these things, we have to understand it. This is why last year, during the commemorations of the World Drug Day, the theme of the day was not to stigmatize them in public. So it means that the agency, they are trying to come out with solution solving, than also to see that these people have been always taken to prison to be imprisonment. No, it's not about that. It's about bringing solutions to the table. And that's the way, that's the route I have seen them taking, which is very smart. Although they cannot do everything, for me, partly as a brand ambassador, I will play my part and to be partnering with them. And also I will see all the mitigations that we can take to make sure that we have a rehabilitation center. And also how we can engage the central government, because very soon I will start my study tour. It's going to be a survey. And also including having the study tour planned, I will also engage authorities, especially at government level, the central government, especially the VP. I'm interested in meeting the VP to make sure that we discuss these areas, because I think it's an area that is also concerned, and also we even honor his mantle leadership as the Vice President of the Gambia, if we know his mandates and his responsibility. So he's directly with the people. So I believe with the VP, I can work with him in partnership with other stakeholders, and then we reach out to the communities and reach out to those that are addicted, and we look at them as partners. The addicted ones, they are not criminals. I want everybody to understand this. They are not criminals. They are stakeholders. They are partners. And these partners, we need to work with them in order to make sure that we get the change that we want. So, because how many people are using it? They are doctors. You want to tell me those doctors, they are criminals? If you want to look at the boys in the ghettos, they are using it, they are criminals. Then there are doctors that are using it, then they are criminals. There are security men, we know, they use it, they are criminals. Because this is a problem of everybody. You have even people with half-stands, they use it. People with suits, they use it. Even you as a journalist, you might be using it. I'm just giving you a sample. Yes. So it's not about the image. It's about who is involved. And how we can bring on the table a problem-solving matter. People should understand this, not to criminalize them and to stigmatize them. Say bandila, say nankatla, say lila. Doesn't bring change. Islam si mo so mo bugud lolu. Di wax lu ñaaw ci nit utu lolu rafet ci nit ki wala lu ko dimbele wala lu ko defal. So Gambians should change their mindset when it comes to approaching certain problems or certain situations in public, especially wala ngeen mer rek jaxako ke na gina bu ko teki dafa nangam dafa ni tutay rek la fi nekké nan saka rek la fi nekké ngeen daxako you are putting more fire on fire. So these are things we have a problem to solve, and that problem needs to involve everybody, nationwide. Basically, just to cut the long story short.
Interesting. So now, what do you have to say about Kush? being a very deadly, drug as of now. It is causing a lot of problems in this country to our young boys. So, what do you have to say about Kus?
Kus is something that is not new in the Gambia. It's just that it's now that people started hearing the story from our neighboring countries in Sierra Leone. We heard that they have been digging human bones, using it as a form of creating sulfur. You know, because we all know that it gets through the sulfur, the human bone has a sulfur, and that using it can get you high. Absolutely. And that's where they rely on creating the I don't know how to call it, creating the Kus through human bone. But we know that it comes from other types of drugs that is mixed together to use it. Because if you look at the Kus that people use here and the Kus that they are talking about in Sierra Leone, is quite different. And yes, they use it because it's just like when you have a water, you put juice there, you never call it water anymore. So if you cannot buy this, you say, let me use this to create this. That's where that Kus comes from Sierra Leone. And we have seen it turns a lot of young people to become zombies.
Absolutely.
It's happening in the Gambia. I will not speak for Sierra Leone, but I will speak for Gambia. Young people have been using Kush in the Gambia for so long. We have seen young lives, very young people. Recently this year, I've observed that 3 to 4 young people at the age of less than even 23, they'll lose their lives. Some of them are even currently going to school in grade 11. You know, it's something very, very definitely very serious and very sad to say. But I think parents have to come out and also to help, because the government cannot do it all, the agency cannot do it all, even the parents cannot do it all. This is a collective responsibility that the entire country should come together and address the situations. And also I will urge not only, let's look at our religious leaders and our traditional elders. We should be also using them to make sure that they talk to these people, organizing community outreach programs, like through the Bantabas, through the CAFOs, and we discuss with these issues to our children, the dangers involved. It's just like when you have your young child that is growing, yaa ngi am sa jàngat yaa ngi ko bëgg a woon ndaw yaa naka la mel naka la war a toppatooyee boppam su nekkee di gis nangam póot ak yooyu noonu. I don't want to go far. So this is how we should also, for us as fathers, as uncles, as brothers, this is how we should be talking to our younger brothers, you know, discussing with them about these matters and challenges. Also using the imams during their sermons on Fridays, they should be also bringing topics like this to address the situations, and also to use churches as well, pastors as well. Because if you are calling people to come to God, you must also make sure that they avoid certain things that stop them to come to God. So I think they should be frequently doing the sermons on drug abuse and the challenges involved in drug abuse, and religiously how God itself disowns or disband the use of anything that's, you know, accessible. You know, it's a lot of work, but it's going viral. And I've seen definitely they are using it very, very seriously, and it's involved in a lot of societies now. You know, when I say societies, it can be in the events, in the entertainment programs, it can be at anywhere, but definitely it's going viral. The use of Kush now, locally called, I think, Jinabas, sorry for using that name.
It's just crazy.
Yes, but it's going viral.
Named after one of our country's greatest, athlete. Because some believe that if you the moment you take it in,
you become faster.
You become very faster. So it's sad, like you said. But now we are running against time. So Mr. Benga, take us through. What do you think are the impacts of the negative impacts of drug abuse in any society or in the Gambia in particular?
Yes, one, it ruins your entire career. Let me generally make it that. It ruins your entire career. It gives you a bad image in society. If you were having a goals to achieve, it will never take you there. And another thing also, when it comes to the health side, when it comes to your health, is another thing. It causes a lot of things. It causes, we all know, it causes cancer, it causes heart problems and other things, brain damages, you know. So, and even it can cause also these eye problems, you know. So it can bring you a lot of things when it comes to that. Basically, because I know we are against time. Yeah. And also it stops you from reaching out to people that you have, because it stigmatizes you. When it starts to, and also you involve even others from it. So definitely to me, I believe it causes a lot. It causes a lot of harm. at social level, even at economic level. But I don't want to jump. No, I'm def ko ci. Mom mo gëna garaw dama yif dama bëgg jëna mburu. So you go economic bankrupt. That one we already know it. And then it changes you to be a different person in the way even you talk, the way even you think, your perspective. Whether you know it or not, even today that might change even a 1%, even the civilized doctor, using or the civilized lawyer, it changes certain perspective.
Yeah, that I think I can attest to that. Because like I do meet with others, so like telling me you're not gonna jang something like that, but you boy will make it, you know. Funds are make that. So at times I have the concept that where you are sitting, is that the way that you are going to make it up? But they're like that's their perception, that's their thinking capacity that I mean they are going to make it up. So finally, Mr. Menga, to answer this question, I mean critics say that the Drug Law Enforcement Agency is responsible for the spread of illicit drugs in the Gambia. As a brand ambassador of this
responsible of
to spread illicit drugs in this country.
Yes.
So what is your take?
I think you asked me that questions earlier. What I would still not being defensive, but I would still say, if the Drug Law Enforcement Agency are the widespread of drugs in the Gambia, where are the traffickers? We're not talking about the traffickers, not trafficking drugs from abroad, bringing it to the Gambians. We know during December, during the period of trafficking period, let's say December, November, I'm not saying that's the only period, but most of the time we know that that's the period that these people have access to bring it. Where are our exit routes? Where are our ports? Our seaports and our airports are coming. Where are even the roads that they are using to enter in the country? But
they are saying that in the ports, we have people of your agency that are stationed there.
Yes, the Drug Law Enforcement Agency, they are everywhere, but do you think that they can control everything everywhere? Looking at the availability of measures and equipment that they have, do you think that they can stop it from everywhere? These are some of the things. Do you think that you can occupy them in the entire country from Banyu to Koina? That is impossible. Even mosquito in your own house, you cannot stop mosquito in your own house.
But you can put in measures.
You can put in measures, and the measures have been put already. They are making effort.
But they'll tell you they'll arrest, and then after the arrest, 2 days later, you will see the person being released.
They are there to enforce. They are not there to finalize the law. The court also have a duty to do.
But critics will say that at times the case will not be in court. It will just be stationed at the police station, and they will negotiate, you pay money, and they release you. Because most of the cases, the critics will say that if you are arrested, for a park, something like that, if you are taken to the police station, they will just give you some ask, and then you.
Yes, those are critics, and critics can be false, can be true.
But do you think now general criticism would that not stand?
No, for me it's not, because sometimes Gambian from the give excuse for the problem.
Now let's assume it happened. Yes,
when it happens, yes, and if you are caught, you will be in a problem. That is not how. You'll even sack automatically. And seriously, police. Seriously.
Now, for the case of
we should also consider also the judiciary side.
Yeah, they play a very important role.
They play a very important role. I will not say the Drug Law Enforcement Agency's arrest and took people to court and you are released. No, I will not say that. But I'm telling you, the court also have a duty to do. The judiciary. Sometimes some of these traffickers, let me tell you, they don't even have affairs with the Drug Law Enforcement Agency or no. They can even have top connections all over the world. All traffickers, they have top connections. Now, example, if they have to get a top connections from a president or from a vice president or from the chief of defense staff or from the IGP, somebody that is more superior than the agency, what do you think? I'm not telling you that is happening, but when it happens, what do you think? This is the $1 million questions. So this is why we need a collective contribution to make sure. You cannot fight drug with isolation. We need all the stakeholders to be in place, and then we do the job effectively. Drug cannot be fighting in isolations. Even myself telling you, I cannot fight drug in isolations. I use parents, I use peer, I use friends to make sure that they help me to advise other friends. I use imams, sometimes I use that person for that. Even if I know that you are I know that if I can use your girlfriend for this, I'll use your girlfriend to help you. So it's a collective responsibility.
No,
people should stop talking about only the agency. Are we talking about our behaviors at home? Are we talking about parental miscare at home? This is the problem. So sometimes I don't want us to put the blame on government or to put the blame on the agencies. We should take our own responsibilities.
But the greatest steps will be taken by the agency.
Yes, I agree, but to enforce. Remember, they are there to enforce. They are there to enforce. Now you have seen that they are even involved in other areas of interventions to make sure that they will help people to change. That's the drug demand reduction unit. Loolu liggéey waajur la. They waxtaan ak ñoom pour ñu wéccu. Xool leen lu leen dimbale. Loolu liggéey waajur la. But even the agency is trying to bring that method. And that method is even very effective. This is why they are using people like me, people like others, people that are reform addicted to be able to help them to mitigate these issues and problems. This is why we are reaching out to media. We are having media programs to make sure that we address some issues. That the agencies is not only there to discriminalize or to criminalize or to take you to my tool, but the agency is also there to make sure that reforms are helped to lead this. Because they know that it's a sickness. It's a sickness. Everybody knows medically it's a sickness.
Were you aware of Banda's case?
Yes, Banda, I had his case, but not that much. Because I'm more engaged into abusers than traffickers. I have little access to traffickers and little access to talk about traffickers. Because for traffickers, I always say, let me leave it with the law enforcement agencies. Because I have no tight security for me to do that. Talking to traffickers might even be risky. I might be settled. I might be killed. You don't know that. So I cannot just reach out to traffickers and start telling them certain things. It's risky. I need to take my measures, the steps that I need to take. Because those that are at the top is not much important. What is important is the seeds. I'm more interested at the seeds. I'm not dealing with the tree, with the branches. No. The branches I will leave them with the winds to control them. What I am interested is the seeds. Because they will grow. So I'm interested with the young people to stop it from there. When I stop it from there, then it means the top will have a problem.
How far are you in the fight against drug abuse? Like how far have you went? Have you reached that success since you started?
Yes, I always say I like to grow fire than trying to stop fire. Lot of success. Lot of serious success, even at personal level. I'm telling you, whether people understand it or not, this is not about the agency, this is not about Gambia government, this is not about me. To tell you the reality, I am God sent. Because these are things that I personally have. These are personal spiritual talks that I did with Allah. But I even have to fast for months. I have to be doing my tahajjud at night. Di ñaan Yàlla. Because dama bëgg def li def ci barke. Di Yàlla mo ci def barke. Nobody can stop it. It's God that is sponsoring me. It's God that is helping me, giving me the strength. It's not. I don't have any finance to be doing it. I'm not waiting for nobody. I'm telling you. I'm not even waiting for the agency to give me fund to be doing it. I'm not like those foundations that wait for funding. Sometimes I take my own assets at my own level, sell it and help somebody to go to school just to stop that drug. Dama leen jël yóbbu leen ci ñawkat yi utal leen liggéey ñeneen su jaree ma laa nax sax di la jëndal yére sax su ma amee ne yow da nga bëgg di solu sax jaral ma jëndal la yére just pour nax la rek jot la ñeneen daf maa jaral sax ma jël suma benn suma fuuni génne suma sim card di jox la ko pour xëccal la rek di ko dañ nga dee gaaw so yow naka nga leen a mën a xëccee pour ñu jege la yooyu laa dee use. Sometimes I have to use my own suma pexe laa dee jël. So it's not about funding that makes me to deliver, that makes me to achieve. It's about having passion and having a goals and dream that I want to achieve to make sure that I have seen people change. Well, you are natural, man.
We don't have time.
Yes.
What is your final message to the viewers who are listening?
Yes, my final message to Gambians is to say that we should all come together from social level to economic level and government level to make sure that we work together as a team and as a nation, because it's a smiling coast that we are talking about, to make sure that we help the young people of these nations. We should not forget about them because they are part of us. They are not criminals. Let us also know that. They are patients, they are sick and they need treatment. This is the only thing that I can say to Gambians. And then we unite, we make sure that we fight for a better Gambia. And basically I would say, I will thank my mother a lot for also giving me the prayers and the blessing and to stay with me when the life was difficult, when I was in a very difficult situation. She was the only one there. And also, I will also praise and thank the late Imam Barham Job. This is why I'm called Imam Kifa Barhama, because he was the top contributing factor of my change. Because the time I even visited him, I would say he was the only one that accepted me as how I was. Because I'm not Imam Barham, so Mandi. dafa ñëw mu welcome ma mu toog waxtaan ak man comme moromi imam moo ko seet si. So he's one of the guys, one of the imams that helped me to change. He's my inspiring idol because that might help a lot. But after smoke we hair, so I got def lu dof sa. Dama dey hit su ko imam déggee. So imam Barham lim def ci man rek waxuma la leneen sax. Lolu rek jox nako aljana because lu baax lu ma def rek daf ci am tiyabu. So I will say thanks to the family of that imam, late Imam Barham Jobe, and to the Joben family and my mother for helping me to change. They are the contributing factor of this blessings.
Thank you so much. And thank you for honoring our invitation.
Yes, thank you.
We are grateful.
Thank you so
Esteemed viewers, thanks for joining us on our current affairs. Today the discussion was centrally centered on drug abuse, addiction, abuse, and of course, ways to mitigate, the use of drugs in the Gambia. And our guest today was, the official brand ambassador of the drug law, the enforcement agency, the Gambia, Mr. Mahmoud M. Benga, alias, the journalist, a journalist, and of course, in other way, an anti-drug, activist. So, until then, join us next Sunday from the hour of 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. as we bring you, interesting or current happenings in our country and beyond. Until then, I was your host, Ibrahim. Bye-bye.